Tonight it is my honor to introduce William J. Hybl. I hope many of you have read Bill Hybl's bio on the website. It is worth hearing again. Can anyone do it from memory? Because I'll let you come up and introduce Bill. It is a crazy impressive biography. He is the chairman and chief executive officer of the Pomar Foundation. He's been engaged in a variety of public service activities throughout his lifetime. He's the civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, which is so cool. I spent 12 years in the Army. Thank you for doing that, sir. In 2008, Hybl was confirmed by the United States Senate as chairman of the U.S. Commission on Public Diplomacy, a position he was appointed to by President George W. Bush, reappointed by President Barack Obama, originally appointed to serve on the commission by George H.W. Bush, and then reappointed by President Bill Clinton, including 4 years as the vice chairman. In 2001, President Bush appointed Mr. Hybl as the U.S. representative of the 56th General Assembly of the United Nations. In addition, Hybl was chairman of the board of the International Foundation for Electoral Systems from 2003 to 2009 and currently serves as vice chairman of the board and executive committee chairman. Mr. Hybl has also held many positions in international sport. I know you know this. It's worth repeating. He's the President Emeritus of the United States Olympic Committee. He has served twice as president and led the United States Olympic delegations in the 1992 Olympic Games in Albertville, France, and Barcelona, Spain, summer and winter. In 1998, he led the U.S. team at the Olympic Games in Nagano, Japan, and in 2000 in Sydney, Australia. Mr. Hybl also serves as chairman of the U.S. Olympic Endowment. He was inducted, not surprisingly, in the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame in 2006. Mr. Hybl is vice chairman of the board of the Broadmoor Hotel and chairman of the Air Force Academy Foundation and the 100 Club of Colorado Springs. He's a life trustee for the Colorado College and serves on the boards of the Garden City Company, First Bank Holding Company, and Mountain States Employer Council. This isn't surprising at all. In 2003, he was named Citizen of the West by the National Western Stock Show in Denver. Mr. Hybl is a graduate of Colorado College and earned his Juris Doctorate at the University of Colorado School of Law in Boulder. He was elected to the Colorado House of Representatives in 1972 and served a term and was special counsel to President Ronald Reagan in 1981. Most importantly, he and his wife, Kathleen, have 2 sons and 6 grandchildren. What an impressive man we have in front of us. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Bill Hybl.
Well, thank you. Let me just say that this really is a pleasure to be here, and I know a number of you, and I think that you should probably be up here rather than me. But I want to talk about some things that may be of interest. I have a couple of stories, but I also want to tell a tale about Pomar Foundation and our ownership of the Broadmoor Hotel until 1988. And something you may find of interest, the Broadmoor Hotel and what it is doing, what it has done, and where it is going under the ownership of Phil Anschutz. And I'll tell you, this is something really exciting for Colorado. It's something exciting for women and men like you who occasionally might like an adventure of some kind. The Broadmoor is going to offer that. Now let me, if I may, you see here, this is Colorado Springs at the Garden of the Gods. And Pomar Foundation has been part of the fabric of Colorado since 1937. And the Spencer Penrose, we can go back, he wouldn't like it, went that fast. The Spencer Penrose, who was really the founder in 1937 of the Pomar Foundation, but also the Broadmoor Hotel. But let's say a couple things about Spencer Penrose. He came from Philadelphia. He was a graduate of Harvard. He was an engineer, and uniquely and singly, he was last in his class at Harvard. But he was off to a great start, and his family moved him out to Colorado, where he was in gold mining in Cripple Creek, had several endeavors which were, I think, successful. He made in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But then he thought of a new method, and along with a fellow by the name of Jacqueline, an engineer, developed a way to productively and economically produce copper from low-grade ore. And the Utah Copper Company was formed. You can still see this not particularly environmentally friendly. It's a hole. The dig there is enormous, tens of miles deep. I mean, wide and miles deep. But that became Utah Copper, and he evolved that into Kennecott Copper, the largest copper company in the world. And basically, that's where the funding of El Pomar Foundation came from. And we're very fortunate, I think, and we'll show you Mr. Penrose. We talked about a couple of these. He did some unique things. How many of you have been to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo? Well, he started the zoo originally in 1918 when the Broadmoor opened. Mr. Penrose had the zoo at the hotel. Well, after a couple elephant bites and other things, he decided that maybe he should endow and move the zoo up to Cheyenne Mountain itself. And that's what he did. It's evolved. It's really prospered through the years, and along with the Denver Zoo, really sets a standard for the state of Colorado and for the West. I think they both do. Now, he dies in 1939 at the age of 74. There's something interesting here, and I'll tell you about as we go forward.